Well, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Full Credit to Not Another Rugby League podcast. I'm your special guest, former legend, and you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Blue Sky. Geez, it's lonely over there, boys. At @former_legend. And straight off the bat, what caught my senses in the past 7 days, boys? Well, this week it was the Red Bull Momentum Tracker on Fox Sports. Clearly looking for something more meaningless and mystifying than the Channel 9's VB Hard-Earned Index, Fox have created a graph that apparently tells you who has momentum in the game and when. You know how I tell who has momentum in a game of footy? I look at the fucking scoreboard, that's how. Jesus, suffering fuck. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Alright, now I've got that off my chest. Let's do a rapid recap for round 3, which of course was turnip round, where people were encouraged to bring a turnip to the ground that would be a better president of the United States than Donald Trump. And we started on Thursday night at GM Cold Stadium, where the NRL excitement machine, the Bulldogs, held on to score a win against Ricky's Raiders, 14 points to 10. But the win came at a cost as Canterbury coach Cameron Daddo needed stitches after punching a window and causing $78 worth of improvements to the stadium. The Zinger box, Ethan Sanders, starred for the Raiders, but he will regret not being able to cross for the match winner late as he made Connor Tracy look like a first grader when he cut him down 2 metres short of the line. Friday night saw the second game of the weekend at Politis Stadium, where a bold tactic was employed by Supercoach Beasting Robinson and the Bondi boys. In this one, they scored a try in the 5th minute and then put the cue in the rack and attempted to defend their way to victory. And it almost worked before the Panthers treated them like a red-headed stepchild, belting them 40 points to 4. And speaking of red-headed stepchildren, Silky Milky Jenkins scored 4 tries for the boys from the foot of the mountains as his opposite number, Mark Nawanganigatawazi, proved to be as solid as a lemonade sandwich in defence. The second game on Friday night was down at Rondon Kutut Stadium and saw the Storm act like Bonnie Blue and let the Broncos finish all over the top of them, going down 18 points to 14. The Storm clearly took the billing of the grand final rematch too literally, again finding a decent lead before Brisbane flicked the switch and collected the win. After a week of heavy media scrutiny, Madge Maguire looked happier than a dog with 2 dicks after the game, while Coach Bellyache was Googling which prisoner of war camp simulation he was going to take his players through this week. Saturday afternoon at Old McDonald Stadium, the Knights took on the Warriors with 48% of their salary cap sitting in the waiting room of Newcastle Physio during the game. But it didn't bother them early. Fletcher Hunt crossed the line after just 5 minutes to give the locals some hope. But as the Irish family say, hope is the doctor of misery. And there was a lot of misery in store for local fans as the Warriors crossed the line for 6 tries to win 38 points to 12, while Newcastle regret releasing Jackson Hastings to St Helens. The second game on Super Saturday came from Ocean Outfall Stadium, and the Dolphins ended an 8-game Sharks winning streak at home, absolutely spanking them 38 points to 10. It was also the first time since 2021 that the Sharks have failed to score more than 10 points in consecutive games. Most of the Dolphins' points came from the right side, where Izzy Katoa had a hand in 4 of the 6 Dolphins' tries. He had 2 assists and 2 contributions, including an absolute bullet pass for Jermaine Asako in the first half. Speaking of Asako, he finished with 105 Supercoach points, so imagine if you made him your captain! Wowee. The final game on Saturday saw the team of destiny, the West Tigers, narrowly go down to the Bunnies, 20 points to 16. Considering that South had an extra man on the field carrying a whistle for the entire match, the Tigers can hold their heads high. Although I thought chairing referee White Raymond from the field at full time by the Bunnies was a step too far. The Tigers fought back from a 12-0 deficit after 8 minutes to lead 14-12 at halftime and looked set for an obvious victory before the cruel hand of fate took both Tigers halves from the field with injury. Jerome Luai twisted his knee, while Biscuit Legs Adam Dewey pinged one of his 2-minute noodle hamstrings. Sunday and the Eels met the Dragons at Spurbank Stadium and got home to win 30 points to 20 after the Dragons treated potential try opportunities like Ivan Milat treated backpackers, murdering 6 opportunities to cross the line. But the joke is still on Parramatta as they remain stuck with dum-dum Ryan Madison on their playing list. Despite offering him to every club in the league, they're finding him harder to sell than a timeshare on Epstein Island. And in the final game of the round on Sunday, it was smart play by the NRL to try and hide this game at 6 p.m. on a Sunday night, although my suggestion at midnight on Wednesday seemed to have gone on deaf ears. The Gordon Tallis Titans took on the Cowboys at Queensland Cunt Treebank Stadium in the Bell and the Ball Cup, with the Cows getting their first win of the year and temporarily saving Rowdy Roddy Payton's job, getting up 30 points to 16. North Queensland Right Edge had a day out with 4 tries as the team rode the highs and lows of the Scott Bongwater roller coaster, creating great opportunities in attack but costing his side with some flimsy defence and a fateful intercept pass thrown to Jaden Campbell, who went on to score. So that's how I saw round 3, boys, and I think we can all agree, after 3 rounds, if you aren't giving your half and 5/8 a month or 2 off right now, you don't understand how rugby league works. So well done to Benji Marshall and Justin Holbrook for thinking outside the box. Back to you in the Nathan Brooks studio.